Joining me now is Ambassador Michael Herzog, Israel's ambassador to the United States. Ambassador, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, Prime Minister Netanyahu has given a speech, a video message, I should say, saying that he's determined to return all of those thousands of people, more than 60,000, maybe 100,000 people who've been away from their homes since October 8th. And that means more war with the North.
So let's explain how we got here. Hezbollah has been attacking Israel since October 8th. Hamas launched a war, and Hezbollah followed one day after, an unprovoked war against the state of Israel. Since then, they have fired over 8,000 rockets into Israel, over 1,000 anti-tank missiles, and hundreds of drones. They tie themselves to Gaza. And they've been saying, as long as there's war in Gaza, we will support. In a way, Nasrallah gave Hamas and Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, the key to stability in Lebanon and along the Lebanese-Israeli border. As a result, tens of thousands of Israelis had to evacuate their homes, over 60,000, and without any horizon when exactly they can go back. For us, for any sovereign state, this is intolerable. We said all along, we are willing to give diplomacy a chance. If that can settle the issue, of course, that's preferable. We do not seek war. But nor are we deterred from war. And if diplomacy doesn't work, I think we have to resort to other means to change their calculus and return our people to their homes. Any state, what would the U.S. do if so many people were to evacuate their homes because a neighboring entity fires missiles and rockets at it?
But what the Secretary of State is saying, that to escalate with this offensive in the air, on the ground, on pagers, is no way to de-escalate, that it makes the people more dangerous for them to go back to their homes with the war heating up.
As I said, we are not pushing for war, but if Hezbollah doesn't change its behavior and continues to tie itself to Gaza, it leaves us with no other option but to push further and further militarily. Now, we're not focusing only on military activities. We are degrading their capabilities in a very effective manner, but at the same time, we are still giving a chance to diplomacy. We are working very closely with the U.S. administration on a diplomatic outcome, kind of an off-ramp, that will allow the parties to de-escalate.
Savannah Guthrie asked Secretary Blinken today about a number of instances recently, not just assassinations, but the pager explosions, airstrikes in Lebanon, where the U.S. had no heads up, where they were blindsided. One time, even as Secretary Blinken, by the way, was landing in Cairo for diplomacy, the pagers went off. So his response was, we prefer not to have surprises. Why blindside your closest ally and chief supplier of arms?
All I can say, without going into specific details, that we have very close daily consultations with the U.S. administration, the various branches of the administration. They know what we're doing by and large, and they understand the logic of what we're doing. It doesn't mean that we always agree on everything. But I wouldn't use the term blindside the U.S. I think our consultations are very close.
Isn't it more difficult to have any kind of ceasefire in Gaza, which Hezbollah and the other Iranian proxies observed last time in November, the brief pause? But they're not going to observe, there's not going to be a ceasefire in Gaza while this is all going on. And the hostages may not survive.
We've been trying a hostage deal in Gaza for months now. President Biden came out with a framework which we supported and endorsed, and was endorsed by the UN at the time. Then the US put forward a bridging proposal in mid-August, which we embraced as well. We're still waiting to see for Hamas to say yes to any of this, to the framework and to the specific details that are there. I think part of the public discourse does not get the full picture, but it takes two to tango, and I still don't see Hamas in a zone of possible agreement. That is very unfortunate. You're right, every day that passes by endangers their lives. We have to do our utmost to get them out. But we are not alone in this game. And to date, as the U.S. itself said, Hamas has still not said yes to the Biden framework.
Well, neither has Israel to certain elements. And arguably, I know you have to go, but arguably it's harder to negotiate with Hamas when the political leader was assassinated in Tehran, and now it means dealing with Sinwar in the tunnel, who doesn't communicate very easily.
I will say that whoever thinks that Haniya was a moderate, the leader of Hamas was a moderate political leader.
I didn't call him moderate.
Is very wrong. And I can tell you that on the issue of hostage deal, Haniya was the most hawkish of all of them.